I tallied the votes from our last verses, and this is the fight you guys chose. Make sure to rank for the next fight by clicking the link at the top right of the screen. Darth Vader and Mace Windu meet on a deserted battlefield. Both are at their peak of power as far as the movies go, so pretty much Vader from episode 6 and Windu from episode 3. Each fighter is armed with their own designated lightsaber. This is a fight to the death. Who wins the battle of the bald guys? That works. Let's go with that. Now before I begin, as with all my versus videos, this is just my opinion. I state both combatants' pros and cons, and I judge who the victor is going to be off those facts. So this is an unbiased fight, especially since I love both characters. But without further ado, let's begin. Let's take a look at Darth Vader first. For pros, Darth Vader is extremely powerful in the dark side of the Force, second to only the Emperor in overall Force power. His armor has a very high melting point, meaning it can withstand light strikes from a lightsaber. As we saw in The Empire Strikes Back, while he's fighting Luke, Luke struck his armor, but there was no serious damage. Vader is pretty much a tank. He's a super strong offensive lightsaber duelist, who claims many of his victories just by powering through his enemies. Plus, his cybernetic limbs allow him to have increased physical strength. Now for cons. While Vader is an incredible duelist, he is somewhat slower with his cybernetic limbs, especially when you compare him to Anakin Skywalker from episode 3. And while Vader's cybernetic limbs may give him increased strength and stamina, they overall hinder his agility, which he'll have to make up with by using the Force. Now Vader's Achilles heel is probably his life support system located right on his chest and his helmet. If they receive too much damage, Vader is done for. And the prime example of that is at the end of episode 6, when his entire life support system is fried by Sidious's lightning. Now let's take a look at Mace Windu. Mace Windu was quite possibly the strongest lightsaber duelist of his era, being compared to even Count Dooku in skill. He was very powerful in the Force. Although he is 50, he seems to be in relatively good shape. Windu is a master of the Vapad form, which allows the user increased strength while fighting. However, if untrained, it could pull the user to the dark side. Windu actually used this technique to victor over Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. However, it is never actually stated whether Windu won or Palpatine lost on purpose. But considering Mace Windu's status among the Jedi, and how powerful of a character he actually is, I honestly believe he did outdo the old Sith Lord. Now for cons. Windu, though powerful, sometimes allows his ambition to cloud his senses, which could result in a fatal mistake. An example of this is when Mace Windu defeats Palpatine. He was so eager to kill Palpatine that he was not able to detect Anakin's betrayal coming. Also, he wears no body armor. Now for the conclusion of this fight. Honestly, this fight is definitely the toughest versus I have ever done, for both fighters are extremely powerful. But with all these facts laid out, I declare the winner is... Find out next week for part 2. Just kidding. I know you guys love my cliffhangers. But for real though, the winner of this match is Mace Windu. Now before you guys go correcting my opinions, let me just say, this fight could go either way. I'd 100% understand if you would choose Vader over Mace, because Vader is super strong. But for me, this fight comes down to saber skill alone. For both fighters are extremely powerful in both offensive and defensive Force combat. And if it comes down to lightsaber skills alone, I think Windu's Vapad form is his trump card. The best example of this is in Return of the Jedi, when Luke is facing Vader. In the beginning of the fight, Luke starts to get beat by Vader. However, Luke switches on his anger, which effectively allows him to take down Vader in his offense. This moment is very reminiscent of Mace Windu and Sidious's fight too, because Palpatine started on the offense, keeping Mace on the back pedal. But once Mace entered his Vapad form, he was able to outdo Sidious. So ultimately, though Vader is very powerful, Mace in his Vapad form is virtually unbeatable. So I see the fight going like this. They'd probably start out with Force abilities, kind of testing each other out a little bit using their Force against each other. And they'd soon realize they're equally matched, so they'd jump into lightsabers. Right from the start I could see Vader on the offense and Mace on the defense. Vader would be using his great physical strength to try to power through Mace Windu's defenses. And though I feel it wouldn't be easy for Mace Windu to block, I do think he'd be able to keep up. Mace would continue on the defense for a while. He would keep backpedaling, watching Vader's movements. He's also examining Vader's fighting style. You see, Mace Windu is incredibly strong in almost all lightsaber skills. So once Mace Windu learns everything he needs to know from Vader's attack, he would switch on that Vapad form and strike back at Vader. Now with the Vapad form, Windu wouldn't just wreck his day, for Vader would just switch to the defense and be able to block for a while, but I do feel that eventually Mace Windu would get the upper hand, and effectively end the Sith Lord. But of course, that's just my opinion. Let me know your opinion on this in the comments below. Who do you think would win? Remember to like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.